Hey, back with part 2 of day 1 of my cruise album. We are using Tracy Reed's True North kit. Again, this section, we'll probably use this for most of this album, unless I can find another kit like hers or of hers that matches. A lot of her kits definitely go together. Or something that goes along with this kit. So I'm kind of going back through the part that I already did. I will put that video up here in the little eye or down below if you'd like to see this part of it. But I needed to do a little strip up there. My picture either printed wrong or I sized it wrong. I don't know. Or this side of the paper was sized wrong. I don't remember which one it was. So I just needed a little strip to cover that up. Plus, then that was a lot of paper, and my hole punch just was not punching through that. So we got out the crocodile. When in doubt, pull this bad boy out. This guy is one of like my oldest scrapbook tools I probably have, but still works amazing when you get through those big, huge layers of paper. And then usually I can make, because those holes that the crocodile makes are not that as big as regular holes, so sometimes it catches, so I then will go back and punch with my regular one. It just is less paper, so then it will go through. I have not decided which album this is going to go in. I don't have an album yet, so I am just punching the 2 center holes. I hadn't punched it yet, because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't quite sure if I was going into a 6-ring album or a 2-ring. I figured at this point I don't want them to get ruined being out of an album, so I did just slip them in this 2, and then if they go into a 6 I can punch more. You can't take away, but you can punch more. So that's what you see me doing there. Now just cutting off. So we are working on the back of that 4 3x4 page protector. So this day I took a lot of pictures, but I didn't take a lot of pictures. As you've seen in the videos, it was pouring down rain when we got onto the boat. So obviously that, you don't get your phone out all the time when it's raining. Also, the boat was just very busy. We were supposed to leave, I think, at like 3, and we didn't debark until like 7 because of all of the rain and the issues that the ship was having. So, yeah, it was a long day pretty much. But it did stop raining and we got to enjoy Miami for a little bit. And then of course it got, super humid. But this is another 3x4 regular card. I am just showing how I kind of jazz these cards up or make them my own. You've seen this stamp set used in the previous. This stamp set will be used throughout the album, so I will keep a lot of things consistent, including this, including like the albums, and maybe, you never know, I might add something else in. I might get over this, but over the kit, or I might just run out of ideas with this kit. But for the most part, I am going to try and keep this. So these 3 pictures, one is our room, and I wrote a little bit about that was my first apprehension, just because we are used to going to resorts. This was our first cruise, and so I heard that the rooms were super tiny. It was tiny, but it was doable. I think until probably like the last day, I was like, okay, now it's like all of our stuff is everywhere. And it was getting to be like, okay, this is getting tiny. Plus, we always had the bed out because we had a kid with us. So it was just, I don't think it got to me until about the last day. But I just put a little label on here and put home. And then I did find a sticker at the end that was like, that said, this is our home away from home, I believe. I was like, oh, that's what I should have used. I didn't see that sticker until later. So that would have been the perfect sticker for this. And then, of course, the first thing that you do when you get on the cruise is you go find a meal. So we definitely did that. And we, of course, went to Guy's Burger. I think that's like the traditional thing to do is to get on there and go to Guy's Burger, of course. So even my picky little eater there was eating up all of the burgers. And then a picture of mine, of course. My oldest was like already chowing down by the time I had even gotten back to the table. So I couldn't get a picture of him, even though he was, I think I do have a picture coming up where he's already like on his second meal and we haven't even gotten our room yet. And then just a real quick embellishment here, just a arrow pointing down. Again, we're trying not to overthink, I should say, this too much. I am trying to get things done. I definitely felt today the overwhelmingness of all of the projects that I have. So I'm like, just get through this and get this done. All right. So in this blog post that I am featured on the Tracy Reed Design blog, I just want to reiterate that putting together a travel album isn't always, page protectors and full page spreads. So definitely switch it up. Make it interesting for yourself. I'm always switching between page protectors, switching between page sizes. So you'll see me go from full page spread down to a 5 by 8.25, back to a page protector, and then back to full page spreads. I think that the texture differences, the differences in how I'm displaying the pictures, all that kind of stuff is definitely a way to keep the interest moving throughout your albums. So this one is all of the pictures of us on top of the deck in our cruise. This is it is the same picture from the very front one, but of course I will put this back in here. So we are just doing a mini scrapbook page, and I will sometimes stop and do a whole regular scrapbook page. Not every time will I do this, but probably once every once a section. So my travel albums generally flow by day of what we did that day. I think that's generally how much travel albums do. But I thought a cute square, so I matted that blue the blue solid paper on this straight paper, made it into a circle, and then I cut that down a little bit to run into those stripes over there. I also added in Photoshop Tracy Reed's stamps / watermark / mixed media. I love those about her kits. I will say that, I think I say that in every video with a release, is that I just love the mixed media that Tracy Reed gives you. It just lets you get that effect without having the messiness or having to spend the time doing all of that or needing all of the supplies. I don't have 1.5 million background stamps and that type of thing. So I just love that she gives you these to be able to play with. So I layered one of those and I printed that straight on the solid paper, then cut out these little pictures. I did end up doing this wrong. You're going to see me try and pull that up. That middle picture is supposed to be the top picture, not the bottom picture, but by the time I got it down, I didn't want to rip the paper up. It's not that big of a deal. So I just left it. I did enlarge this. She calls them stickers. I did enlarge that, the anchor with family time. The only thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have put it through my silhouette. I just printed out thinking, it was an easy one to fussy cut. And I forgot about that little space in the middle of the anchor. And I just didn't love how that turned out, but it is what it is. Absolutely love these titles that you can, she's got 4 or 5 of these, and you can kind of make a title out of them. And it's the rope, the rope that holds the boat. So cute. This True North set is definitely one to go in your stash, especially if you're a cruise goer, or even if you're just if you do boats in the summer and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely good for one of those. So now I'm just messing around with some embellishments. I was loving that kind of tag that went back there, but then I absolutely liked it way more with the pink on the outside. And then, just putting some embellishments around this to jazz it up a little bit and give it some layering. and finish that up. I did put one little thing at the bottom, but other than that, nothing too big. Just, what was I trying to do? I don't know. Anyways, I'm not sure what I was pointing at there. But yeah, finish that one up. So happy to get that one done and out of the way. And we are going to move on to the back of this. And we're going to print out one of the last pictures, like I mentioned. I'm going to punch some holes in this first, of course. But like I mentioned, it was a long day, and then we the boat didn't get moving and everything. So when the boat is docked, also, like, their computers don't work or something like that. So it was just a long day of not getting some amenities that you're supposed to be getting right away. They made up for it a little bit. They gave you some credits. But it is just like a little bit confusing, and, getting on that boat for that first time, just getting to your stations and everything, was a little bit, but we got to our rooms finally, got all of our luggage, and we were perfect, looking out our balcony, trying to get away from some of the people, of course, for a little bit, since we'd been in the midst of all of these people. And as we were leaving the port of Miami, the clouds came out. It was gorgeous. And I took this picture of the shoreline of Miami and figured this was a great large photo to end day one of. I know that there is a few more pictures that I'm planning to get in here, so you're going to see one more page protector come in here in a second. But I literally just stamped out by Miami because we were done with Miami. We were done with the rain, and they were supposed to be getting more rain, actually. So we were like, let's get out of here. But just stamp that out. I used the horizon line to stamp that out, and I thought that was so cute. And just like a perfect embellishment to everything. I will mention that I do print out everything on a Canon matte photo paper. So I am just using regular ink. I don't use StazOn because I'm not doing on a glossy finish or anything. I love matte photo paper. I just always had, I don't know why, just like a deeper color, I guess. So just always done it. You just see me cutting out the next little story. This little story is about my kid. He was so pumped for these frozen, virgin margaritas type thing. Strawberry smoothies, he called them, whatever they are. So he got plenty of these. I think he had like at least one a day, and then they had milkshakes and everything. So I was just commenting on how I think we did get our money's worth out of the drink package. And then I was going to use one of those tab things again on the top of my photo, then realized, oh shoot, it's not a top loading page protector. This is one from scrapbook.com that has a 3 by 8.25 on the edge, and then 2 3x4s. So just switching up the page protectors in here. And I ended up typing that out on Photoshop. I am going to slide a few pictures in here just to keep them because I already printed them out. I will probably embellish these in the next one when we start day 2, even though it is day 1. But I was pretty much done for the day today, figuring out everything. I had done a few other projects other than this one, so I was like, okay, you can see me. I was like, well, let me try, and then I was like, yeah, no, forget it. Let me just slide this in here and get this in the album and finish up day 1. So gonna get that adhered down just using my double-sided tape, because using all that tape runner is just crazy. Tape runner is expensive. This stuff is strong and pretty cheap. Using my galatine to just put that down and finishing up this spread. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me into the end and following along in this project. Actually kind of excited that I already have one day done. It's going to be a pretty big project. It was a 5-day cruise, I believe. Lots of pictures to come, lots of ways to get this done. But you know what? Day 1 is in the books. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one.